Hi, everybody. It's Greg and Arun back with your Friday college football week 7 plays. It's Friday, October 17th. Before I get to these 4 college football plays, don't forget, get in on our best plays. You want to test us out? How about a free $60? DocSports.com/ICCT. For all new customers, get a free $60. Even better, if you are an existing customer, use that 20% off code. Yes, we said 20% this week. 20% off code. It is SPICY20, saves you 20%. As it is on the screen here. So use that. $99 is a week pass for all football plays from either myself or Indian Cowboy, or a top place $30. So use that off of those for the week. All right, IC, let's kick us off here. Louisville at Miami. This is, if you kind of look ahead, Miami doesn't have a whole lot of tough games left. Miami's big favorite here, minus 13.5, number 2 team in the country, total 52.5. What do you like here?
Well, Miami beat them 52-45 in a great game last year, and the year before Louisville, beat them 38-31 as well. So, Jeff Brom's a heck of a coach, and obviously Jeff Brom was looking ahead to this game because that's why they lost to Virginia, right? As a 6.5-point chalk, they were undefeated coming in, maybe looking ahead here. Miami, Louisville still got 18 votes to be in the top 25. They just didn't make it to the top 25. Losing to Virginia is a tough loss, right? I mean, that's going to hurt, and but I will tell you this. That's, Louisville, Virginia is not a bad team. Virginia also beat FSU, and then Virginia turned around and also beat Louisville, right? So, maybe Virginia is not that bad. And Virginia also beat Stanford as well. So you have a Louisville team that's coming off their first loss, a team that beat Pittsburgh, which Pittsburgh, by the way, went in and beat FSU as well. And a team that closed out to beat Washington last year, 35-34. Miami did beat FSU. They did beat Florida. They beat South Florida, 3 Florida schools. They beat Notre Dame as well, obviously, to start the year. I think Louisville, given the revenge that they have last year, I think Louisville can. And I normally don't take, and I know the public's on Louisville a little bit here, but I think Louisville can hang tough here. I love them off that Virginia loss. I remember Louisville starts 7 on offense and 5 on defense from last year. Jeff Brom is a heck of a coach. He's a great offensive-minded coach, so he can go pace to pace, right, toe-to-toe with Miami. Miami, of course, has Mario Cristobal, who's a former offensive lineman. They returned 7 on offense and 8 on defense. This is the number 2. I want to tell you, Craig, this is the number 2 team in the land, and they're only a 13.5-point chalk here. Give me the points. I'll be happy to take Louisville plus the 13.5. Craig, Nebraska is on the road here against Minnesota as 9-point favorite. Nebraska coming in at 5-1. Minnesota coming in at 4-2, I believe. Nebraska, of course, has had a good year so far. They are ranked 25th in some polls to their credit, which is good for them. And then you have a Minnesota team that's looking to kind of play spoiler here. So 5-1 against a 4-2 team. Nebraska coming off a big win against Maryland on the road, although they didn't cover. They did beat Michigan State as well. Their only loss is to Michigan, 27-30. Minnesota, of course, beat Purdue 27-20. They did lose to Ohio State 3-42. And, Minnesota beat them 2 years ago. Minnesotans beat them last 5 times, dating all the way back to 2019. Who do you like?
A lot of points. It's a lot of points for a Minnesota team that they run the ball and they take away possessions. Like when you play Minnesota, there's going to be limited possessions in the game and you have to take advantage of them. Should they be favored, Nebraska? Absolutely. Should they be 8.5 to 9-point favorite? I just don't think so. It's a Nebraska team that, they really haven't played anybody. They probably should have lost last week to Maryland. They beat Michigan State, which Michigan State's been terrible. They lost to Michigan. They should have lost to Cincinnati in the opening week or at least went to overtime. Give me Minnesota in this one. I think Minnesota's a live underdog in this spot. PJ Fleck's one of those guys I love playing as an underdog. If we remember him back at Western Michigan, row the boat. Like, these are the type teams, these are the type coaches that get you up. They're 100% saying, hey, we're an 8.5, 9-point underdog at home. You guys believe that? It's a much closer game, and I just don't believe. And there's one little bit. Coach Rule is a former Penn State guy. They're already mentioning his name. He played there. He walked on there. So he met his wife there. Like, there's a lot of people like, hey, he's at the top of the list. He didn't even come out and say, hey, I'm just never leaving here. That's an added distraction that he does not need on a weekday game this week. Give me Minnesota.
Hi, everybody. Make sure to use the promo code SPICY20. It gives you not only the weekly, monthly, but the seasonal pass, all for 20% off. It's our biggest promo code to date. SPICY20, SPICY20.
This is a game I am really interested in what you think. I had San Jose State as my 7-unit play of the week, up 28-14 going in to score. They missed 2 field goals. Then they throw a pick six, end up losing 35-28. This one hurts. San Jose State is an underdog here at Utah State, -4, total 65. What do you like in this one?
Well, San Jose State lost to Wyoming 28-35, and that was a tough loss for you, Craig, because I actually thought they outplayed them, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
Wyoming put up a 21-0 spot in the fourth quarter, and San Jose State didn't score in the second half. But you have a team that lost by 1 to Stanford, that beat Idaho. They played, Texas early this year. Of course, they have a heck of a coach in Coach Ken Neomatalo, the defensive coordinator or background coach of Navy. He was the longest winning coach of Navy, by the way. They do return 6 on offense and 6 on defense, and Utah State returns 2 on offense and 6 on defense. Of course, they have Brocco Mendenhall, who's a very defensive-minded coach, right? He's known for his defensive development. So you have 2 defensive-minded coaches here who kind of roll in here, okay? So then you have San Jose State coming off of a loss. All right, so then you have Utah State coming into this game, losing 35-55 against Vanderbilt and 26-44 against Hawaii. Those are tough losses, okay? They also had to play Texas A&M early this year and lost 22-44. They've had to play, some really good teams this year. So this is a team that is 3-3. San Jose State is 2-4. These two teams haven't met since 2023. Brocco Mendenhall, I think, has done a great job with this program. I hate the fact that San Jose State comes off of a loss because I would have liked to have taken them here. This total sits at 65, by the way, and I know that seems like insane, but what I will tell you this is when San Jose State does well, they do well offensively. If this team can put up 31, or if this team can put up 29 on Stanford, 35 on New Mexico, who is 3-3, by the way, and 28 on Wyoming. And remember, this team did not score in the second half. They're going to be pissed coming in, okay? They're going to be so mad coming in, but I can't go against them. But at the same time, Utah State comes in having lost back-to-back games, and they haven't lost 3 in a row all year, and they put up 49 on Air Force and 22 on Texas A&M. Give me the over all day long here, Craig, between San Jose State and Utah State, and this is probably going to be my Friday free play. All right, Craig, you finish us off here. North Carolina, 10-point dog against Cal. This is a North Carolina team that people are saying Bill Belichick is going to be out, but he's saying that all of those reports are untrue. Cal comes in 4-2. North Carolina, of course, lost to Clemson and UCF. Their only 2 wins are against Richmond and Charlotte. California comes into this game losing to Duke, but had beaten Boston College earlier this year in Minnesota. These two teams haven't met since 2018, so that's irrelevant. Cal -10, 47.5. Who do you like, Craig?
Cal plays great as an underdog usually, It's like, but they're favorite here. That's the problem. I don't know if North Carolina can score. Like, they're not getting above double digits. And, Cal, I think, would be very happy winning like 20-3. I think you have to take the under in this game. I just don't know how Cal scores big, because I do think North Carolina is like, hey, we can't score. We need to play a lot closer to the vest. If that means running the ball, trying to have less possessions as well. I think this one screams under. When you see college football and you see a primetime game like this one is on a weekday, 47.5, that's super low in college football standards now. Play the under in this game. I just don't think there's a whole lot of points scored in either one of these games or by either one of these teams today. So take the under. All right, that's what we have for games on Friday. Don't forget, we have all the college football and NFL games. So make sure you click at the end of the screen to get to the next video. And don't forget, use that 20% off promo code SPICY20 to save 20%. And if you want in on the edge, that's our product here at YouTube Premium. So make sure you check out the level 3, get you all 3 levels for less than $50 a month, and you get in on a bunch of extra value of picks. Good luck. We'll see you again next time.